Alright guys, thank you for coming out. This is going to be my persuasion speech for Indiana University. So today I'm going to be talking about how people who are accused of rape should not have parental control over those kids. So for instance, Jamie Melendez, who is now 24 years of age, was convicted of raping a junior high student he met when he was 17. According to Eric Berkowitz, the author of the article Parental Rights for Rapists, the victim attorney claimed Melendez went to the girl's house when he knew her mother would not be home and pressured her into having sex with her. So she knew she did not really have consent. She was underage. It was a really forced situation. So she said that she felt threatened and intimidated by Melendez. Melendez pleaded guilty to the rape and was sentenced to 16 years of probation. Yet, once the judge appointed that Melendez pay child support, he argued that since he's paying child support, he should have the right to visit the child and spend time with it. So Murphy, the criminal attorney of the case, claimed that my client is very worried that she'll have to send her daughter off to this man she doesn't know and tell her that she'll be going on visits with the man who raped her and who is her actual father. We're fiercely fighting against the concept of even being in family court. So even though this person raped her and had no intentions of being with the kid, he's now claiming that he has rights to the child. So according to Michael Brown, author of the book War Rape, in modern-day America, for 1/3 of rape victims who become pregnant and proceed to give birth to the child, the law can be extremely unpleasant. A father's right to be an active parent is just as written in the law as that of the mother. So whether or not it's consensual, the loophole in the law is that both parents should still have equal rights off the bat to the child. Rape victims are often forced to reconcile with their attackers on matters such as schools, summer camps, religious practices, and also have to share custody. In fact, in 15 states, rape victims have no legal protection against decades of intimate ties with those who assaulted them. So these loopholes in the law about equal rights between the father and mother are corrupting the same laws that are meant to protect women, instead of protecting women into helping the from having to raise children alone and unsupportive. They're actually tying the assaulter to the woman when she doesn't need it. So although the law is set up to protect those who are vulnerable, the effect is reversed as the victims can be tethered to their attacker for many years in the future. So there's a couple problems with this. Each year there are approximately 32,000 pregnancies resulting from rape, according to a 1996 study by the American Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology. While the majority of these pregnancies were terminated, as many as 1/3 of the women give birth. This is a problem on its own, as this is a whole lot of unplanned pregnancies and rapes that are occurring. No matter how strict the law is on making the assaulters unavailable to those kids that they didn't plan on having, the rape alone is a problem on its own. So aside from fixing the laws about this, we need to also consider the fact that these rapes should not be occurring in the first place. Another problem is that the current law is placed primarily to prevent women from being forced to raise a child alone and without any support. The law is not meant to force a mother to be with her assaulter, but to keep a father supportive of his family that he may or may not have wanted. So there's another flaw, because the law is basically being reversed. Instead of keeping the father being supportive, it's allowing him to have constant rights to the kid. Then the third problem is that there are a lot of solutions that are short on this bill and a lot of time when things come down on this top fashion. According to attorney Aviva Orinsky in a newspaper article by ABC News, there are a lot of solutions that are short of this bill, and I think a lot of time when things come on this top-down fashion, based on 1 or 2 truly tragic stories, we end up making a bad law. So there are many women who have no idea that when they decide to keep their children, that their attackers would still be tethered to them and have access to their kid in the future. If, according to Pruitt in an interview with CNN, who was a rape victim at the age of 21, if we knew that this possibility loomed on the horizon, that we could spend the rest of our lives tethered to our attackers because of our decisions to have our children, would we made of the same choice? So it's really women, even though they're doing the right thing and trying to keep the kid, a lot of them are aware at their responsibilities or the fact that their assaulter can still have access to the kid. So one cause of this is that judges currently don't have enough power to prevent unfit fathers from seeing their children. just the way the current judicial system is set up. The second cause is that in 31 states, paternal rapists are allowed to sue for custody and visitation rights just like any other father. Even though they're still accused of rape, they're still having the rights that normal fathers have. So this is a problem on its own, as predators or those who are accused of rape should automatically be disqualified from any custody. So clearly there's a large flaw in our judicial system about this matter. The laws that are established to protect single parents are now making matters worse by keeping the assaulters in the lives of those that they don't want to be in. So one solution to this is the legislation introduced in 2013 called the Rape Survivor Child Custody Act, which would help prevent rapists from this loophole. The bill would provide enticements for legal activities on the state level to help women secure full custody of the child and to not allow the assaulter any access to the kid. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, in an interview with ABC News, says that without such a law, women can endure years of being tormented by an abuser. So installing this act would basically keep the men right off the bat for being able to have any custody over the children. The next solution is that if the allegations are to be held true in court, the victim should automatically have full custody of the child. Even then, the father should still be responsible for supporting the child and mother. Just because the father has no custody rights doesn't make it right for women to support a child on her own that she didn't expect or plan on wanting. Especially after making the difficult decision to keep a child, she shouldn't be punished with having to keep up with the person who assaulted her in the long run. So there are strong, dedicated people who are working around the clock to resolve this issue. Before long, we'll have laws in their place that will keep these kind of loopholes from happening, that will keep the assaulters and rapers at bay. By looking at the problems, causes, and solutions of this issue, perhaps America can make a resolution that benefits the mothers who are victims of rape, without bringing any negatives to those who are receiving alimony. It's a two-sided sword, as you want to support those who are supporting their children on their own, without tying the assaulter and making them be with the mother. So just as the father didn't give the mother the option to have a child, the father should not have the option to have custody over the child if he is accused of rape in the court of law. That concludes my speech. Thank you for watching.